Securing a job without an interview. So hello world, my name is Ruth and welcome to Fragrance of a Flower. And in today's video, I'll be sharing with you how God opened the door for me to get a role without even sitting down for an interview. Let's go straight into it. So there was a time where I had not written my New Year's resolutions. The month had passed, January had passed, and we were now in February. And I said to myself, Ruth, it's time to write down your goals for the year. And what I did is I was going from A to B and there was traffic, going from that place to another place. So I said to myself, get out this book I had. So I had this book right here. And I said, I'm going to write my goals in different sections. So in here, I wrote goals in terms of family, finances, places I wanted to go, health, relationships, friends, all of that stuff. And also career goals. And under career goals, I wrote, to work on a research role. So I was writing this on the way to the second destination. So I had stayed at a friend previously, was getting my bags, and then I was going elsewhere. So I was not even in the country. So I was traveling, seeing a family. Now become like a family to me. So I was on the way to their house and now just writing their goals. So when I get to their house now, I open my laptop and I'm just like, oh, I see a message and someone is saying, have you seen my email regarding a job? And I'm just like, I check my email, I see nothing. And then in my head, it clicks like, oh, so basically in this institution, I've worked there previously, like I think last year. Yeah, last year I was working at this institution and the job I had at the time ended. So that meant that I don't use that email anymore. But if you're typing on the system, my name, most likely you would get that email. So I don't really look at that email, but for some reason it's active. So some people, when they send me emails, it always goes to that email. So it clicked. I was like, oh, it's probably my other email. So I now checked my other email, saw an email basically saying, we have this role. If you have time during the day, please speak to me. So I now messaged her back on Teams and said, it must have gone to my other email when I used to work here, but I don't use that email. And then I said, yes, I'm happy to speak. So when I speak now, we have a video call and I think I'm knackered because I was, packing my stuff from this place, traveling to this long place. I was in traffic for, it took me like long to get there, maybe like 2 hours. So I'm probably knackered. So she says, oh, I'll be happy to offer you this role. I liked your application. And maybe I didn't have that much energy, but I was just like, wow, thank you. So I was just like in different stages. I was tired. I was in shock. I was just like, wow, I haven't had an interview. I've got the job. Like everything's just going down. Like I wouldn't have expected it because I was just thinking, wow, I just wrote my goal saying I wanted a specific role and this job was that specific role. And I was just like, wow, this is very interesting. So before this, I actually forgot. So how I found out about this role is that I got an email from this I don't know if it's I wouldn't say organization, but an organization or like a group of people that kind of send out emails to like students who are from racially minoritized backgrounds, and they said, oh, there's an opportunity. So I literally just put my application. The application was like a MS Teams form, and the job deadline was very quick. So when I saw the email, I think the job was closing in like 2 days. So they closed it. They had it open for a very short amount of time, and I think it's because they just wanted things rolling very quickly, and because they had funding for this project, they had like a very short amount of time. So that's how I found out about it. So I submitted my job application, then I get this message on Teams, then have a chat saying that they're happy for me to start this role. And I'm just like in my head like, wow, this is a bit crazy. Like I've never had this experience before, and it's just like, wow, like just writing, and then now the writing, my godson has come into action. So the week after, I now speak to the person who would be like my line manager on the role, just to clarify and check everything. And because this contract was only like 3 months, it seemed like so much to do. Like, for example, there would be workshops, or let's call them focus groups for this sake, that would be recorded. And through the recorded data, you would basically create themes. And through that, you would have to do like a report, a paper based on the research. So we had 4 workshops, and that was going to cross between 3 months. Then through that, analyzing the data, writing a report. So it kind of led actually to 4 months in the time. So I was at first thinking, Lord, this seems like quite a lot, how much can I do in such a short amount of time? Because also additionally to that, there was an opportunity to like speak at a conference, and the conference would have been like the next month. So it was just like, wow, do we have the capacity? So just to keep myself safe, I sent an email just saying, can I get all of this? So I guess doubt started to creep in. But after that, I spoke to them, and they were like, you can do as much as you can in terms of this short amount of time, because they know that they've only had funding for a short amount of time. So after this, I began to start. We have the workshop, send out the email, get participants to basically be involved. And I would say it was definitely a rich experience. I think I shocked myself. I surprised myself because in a very short amount of time, I was able to do the things in terms of organize the workshop, send out, things like the participant information form, feedback form, sending them when it will be, organizing things in person, organizing things online. Then after all the workshops were done, sending out feedback form. Then after that, analyzing the data, creating themes, writing a report, then sending that report back to the participants, seeing if they're okay with it, and then tweaking some stuff from other people who are arts, and then writing again, and then sending. So I was shocked. I was just like, wow, like this job is coming to an end, and by God's grace, you've allowed me to do even more than I thought I could do in such a short time. And afterwards, because this job is literally coming to an end, it's basically come to an end. I did speak to the manager, and she was just like, we're happy to have had you. You've done so much in such a short amount of time. And, she was just like, encouraging me in terms of the work that I've done, saying it was written beautifully. And I just felt so encouraged, because many a times, like in my human mind, I was thinking, this seems like a short amount of time. Can all of this be done in a short amount of time? But then that also another voice came in terms of, if God has opened the door, God will surely give me the strength to basically do all of this in the amount of time. And even if it didn't happen, at least I communicated with them in terms of 3 months doing all of this. In 3 months. But I just thank God, because he surprised me in terms of just getting so much done in such a little time. And sometimes we do not know our strengths sometimes until we're stretched by something. And I would say it was a honestly lovely experience, because it was a time where I was doing real research involving the participants in the research, and I believe that would help me for other things. And I'm just so thankful for God. I'm just thankful to God in that time, because in that moment as well, God opened up another opportunity for me. This wasn't research or work, it was just to go somewhere. And my reflection from that other thing was that God allowed me to apply for the other thing. I wasn't really qualified for it in terms of it wasn't my area, but I applied and I got it. And I'll hopefully share that video as well, about just God opened doors for me to go to another country, covered, free, and all of that. So I just wanted to come here and just encourage someone, and just to give God thanks, because I just saw how I wrote my goals down, and then not knowing that even when I wrote my goals down, I'd already had the job, but I didn't see it, because my other email, which I don't use in that institution, was where the email got sent. So I just want to thank God for what he's done with me over these last few months, how God has allowed me to do all these things in a very short amount of time. I've learned new skills. It's been a helpful experience, and I've really seen how nothing is impossible with God, and how when God opens a way, he will give you the strength to complete it. So dear friends, hope you have a blessed day, and I just want to share more testimonies and more on this channel, about what God has done in my life, and also sharing more studies, reading the Word of God with you. So yes, dear friends, I pray you have a blessed day, and remember that nothing is impossible with God. When God opens the way, He also prepares us to basically take up what He has opened for us. And as we're speaking, I'm really thankful because this job has come to an end, but also I'm thanking God because God has opened up another door. Stay tuned for these coming testimonies about mission and other things, and I pray that these testimonies strengthen your faith. So shalom, and see you later. Bye.